Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Prasar Bharati. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates meets India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Talks feature artificial intelligence, women-led development, innovation in agriculture, and taking lessons from India to the world. US government awarded the state of Maryland $60 million to rebuild collapsed Baltimore bridge. Investigating team probing ship data also to question 2 pilots. 45 people killed in South Africa after bus plunges into ravine. 8-year-old child is only survivor. An Indo-Aussie pair of Rohan Bopanna and Matthew Ebden storm into final of Miami Masters. Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates had a candid interaction with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi. Both had a freewheeling chat discussing a range of issues from artificial intelligence to digital public infrastructure and efforts to combat climate change. They also discussed the health, agriculture and education sectors in India. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Bill Gates also discussed how India sees artificial intelligence. PM also underlined concerns over tech misuse and regulating deepfakes. He suggested that there should be clear watermarks on AI-generated content.
AI ने जो challenges खड़ी की है, वो मैंने देखा है कि इतनी अच्छी चीज अगर properly train किया बिना किसी के हाथ में दे दी जाए, तो वो misuse होने की संभावना ज़्यादा है। अब मैंने AI से जुड़े सारे brain से उनसे भी बात की। मैंने कहा शुरू में हमने कोई भी AI जनरेटेड चीज़ है तो उस पर आना चाहिए वाटरमार्क कि ये AI जनरेटेड है, ताकि कोई मिसगाइड ना हो। और ये बुरी चीज़ नहीं है, सिंपली इट्स AI जनरेटेड, तो मैं उसका वैल्यू समझ लूँगा। डीप फेक भारत जैसे डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्रीज में और इतनी विशाल कंट्री में कोई एक डीप फेक में कुछ भी चीज़ डाल दे, जैसे मेरे ही वॉइस में कुछ ऐसी गंदी चीज़ डाल दे, तो शुरू में तो लोग मान जाएंगे, तो बहुत बड़ी आग लग जाएगी। तो ये ज़रूरी है कि डीप फेक AI जनरेटेड है और ये सोर्स है। ये आज शुरू के दिनों में, आगे चल करके क्या होगा ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी शायद, लेकिन ये हमने कुछ डूज एंड डोंट्स उस पर सीरियसली सोचना पड़ेगा।
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, "We need to train common people to give quality data which should be filled with clarity." PM Modi also said that if a data owner wishes to get into agreement to get money in exchange for the data, then she should be allowed.
मैं इसको दो तरह, एक हमें कॉमन मैन को भी क्वालिटी डेटा के लिए ट्रेन करना पड़ेगा। हमारे डेटा में क्वालिटी होनी चाहिए, क्लैरिटी होनी चाहिए। दूसरा, डेटा ओनर को मालूम होना चाहिए कि जो मेरे से डेटा मांग रहा है वो किस काम के लिए मांग रहा है। अगर वो उसके साथ एग्रीमेंट करके उसमें से कमाई करना चाहता है तो उसको अलाउ करना चाहिए कि और पहला, उसको प्रायोरिटी रिसर्च के लिए होनी चाहिए। रिसर्च के डेटा की वैल्यू ज़्यादा ना हो, ताकि वरना रिसर्च बहुत महंगा हो जाएगा। और रिसर्च करने वाले इंस्टीट्यूट ने भी उसको एश्योरेंस देना चाहिए कि तेरे डेटा का मैं जो उपयोग कर रहा हूँ वो इसी काम के लिए होगा, ये ग्लोबल गुड के लिए है, कॉमन मैन गुड के लिए। तो मैं मानता हूँ दुनिया में कोई भी व्यक्ति इनकार नहीं करेगा।
Urging world to develop the concept of green GDP, Prime Minister Modi said that nations should include in their overall GDP.
दुनिया को ग्रीन जीडीपी के कंसेप्ट को डेवलप करना चाहिए कि भाई तुम्हारी टोटल जीडीपी में ग्रीन जीडीपी कितनी है, टोटल रोजगार में ग्रीन रोजगार कितने हैं। हम एक नया आखिर टर्मिनोलॉजी बदलनी चाहिए दुनिया की। तो मैं समझता हूँ कि समस्या का समाधान हो सकता है, लेकिन अगर मैं कहूँगा मैं तो जितना उपयोग करता हूँ करूँगा, मैं तो इतनी बिजली उपयोग करूँगा, मैं इतना पानी बर्बाद करूँगा, मैं ये करूँगा।
Philanthropist and Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates thanked India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In a social media post, Bill Gates said, and I quote, "Thank you, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, for taking the time to discuss India's tech-driven development. Breakthroughs in AI and digital public infrastructure, along with innovations in agriculture, education and healthcare, are solving some of the country's most critical challenges and should be models for the world." In order to combat maritime security, India, Mozambique, Tanzania sea phase saw INS Teed, INS Sujata, Tanzanian naval ship Fatundu and Mozambique naval ship Namatili engaged in coordinated operations after rigorous harbour phase, strengthening interoperability and readiness for maritime challenges. Let's get you the latest on what's happening in India in the run-up to the world's largest democratic election. Delhi Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena has directed Delhi Police Commissioner to carry out a thorough investigation into the derogatory social media post from the handle of Congress leader Shubhpriya Srinath against actress and BJP candidate from Mandi, Kangana Ranaut. The move comes on the basis of BJP leader Basuri Swaraj's complaint to Saxena demanding an investigation and registration of an FIR against Srinath for outraging the modesty of a woman. The LG has issued directions to police to ascertain the truth in entire episode as well as subsequent claims made by Srinath denying her involvement. Police will also investigate as to who deleted the post after nearly 2 hours and the device used for deleting the same. Ahead of India's 2024 general elections, Samajwadi Party has issued their list of 18 star campaigners. The list includes name of National President of the Samajwadi Party, Akhilesh Yadav, and party MP including Jaya Bachchan. First phase of voting will be held on 8 seats of northern state Uttar Pradesh on April 19. The ruling party of India's western state of Maharashtra, Shiv Sena, has also released its first list of 8 candidates for the upcoming general elections. With a sea of choices for the voters to choose from, there exists an option for them to express their disapproval as well. Here's a report that tells you more about this unique feature, the choice of NOTA, or none of the above.
India is the largest democracy in the world, and in the true sense of democracy, voter is the king. With India being a multi-party system, the choices before a voter range from the representatives of various political parties and independents. But if none appeals, he or she can register that choice too, the option of none of the above or NOTA. In India, if a voter does not support any of the candidates contesting in a particular election, he or she has the option to select NOTA or none of the above as a measure of registering their disapproval of all the contestants. NOTA was used for the first time in the 2013 Assembly elections in 5 Indian states, Chhattisgarh, Mizoram, Rajasthan, Delhi and Madhya Pradesh, and later in the 2014 general elections. The Supreme Court of India reasoned that the NOTA option would allow voters to express their discontent with the political parties and the candidates they put up, and thus help cleanse the political system. But it's a method by which the voter can register his or her disapproval only. The option has no real electoral value. Even if the maximum number of votes cast is for NOTA, the candidate getting the most of the remaining votes would be declared the winner. Around the world as well, countries like Colombia, Ukraine, Brazil, Bangladesh, Finland, Spain, Sweden, Chile, France, Belgium and Greece allow their voters to cast NOTA votes. The United States also allows it in a few cases, and the state of Texas in the US permits the provision since 1975. The NOTA option may not hold much electoral value, however, it represents a section of electorate dissatisfied enough to prefer no candidate over the ones contesting. Despite its capacity to alter election results, NOTA's overall vote share has seen a decline. From 1.41% in the 2018 polls to 0.97% in the recent elections, the drop indicates a shift towards more decisive voting or voter education about NOTA's implications. Antara Sinha for DD India.
Researchers from the Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati, in collaboration with the University of Animal and Fishery Sciences, Kolkata, have formulated 3 ingenious treatment solutions for a certain type of knee injury that has historically proven difficult to treat. Trauma to the injury, meniscus, a cushioning tissue in a knee joint, is a commonly occurring yet complex problem. These new developments signal a significant advancement in treating knee injuries, providing a solution that is custom-made for each patient and could also potentially prevent future complications such as osteoarthritis. Several feared dead in a road accident in North India's Jammu and Kashmir. The tragic incident took place on the Jammu-Srinagar National Highway this morning when a passenger taxi veered off the road, plunging into a deep gorge alongside highway in Ramban district. The incident is believed to have left several individuals dead. Meanwhile, a relief and rescue operation has been launched. Police, SDRF and civil QRT Ramban are undertaking the rescue ops. Good Friday is being observed across the globe today. The day commemorates the crucifixion of Jesus Christ and his death at Calvary. Good Friday is an important day in the Christian calendar as it marks the beginning of the Easter weekend and the culmination of the Holy Week. It's a day of mourning and reflection for Christians all over the world as they remember the sacrifice of Jesus Christ and his suffering on the cross. On this day, Christians engage in sorrow, penance, fasting and attend church services. Mumbai churches are observing Good Friday today, the day when Lord Jesus was crucified. Live Way of the Cross and special services were held across various churches. Children were seen enacting the 14 stations of cross.
With the entire world, Mumbai is also observing Good Friday, and we are here at Mahim Church, Our Lady of the Victory, and these are the people who have enacted Stations of the Cross, and they have gone from the premises of the church to various lanes of Mumbai, Mahim, to educate people, to show the significance of what this day means. 14 Stations of the Cross have been enacted. Let's talk to the Father. Father Fernandez, what is the significance of the day and how do we observe it?
The significance itself, the word itself, Good Friday, will be really paradoxical. Good Friday because Jesus died, there is a cause for Jesus dying on the cross. Jesus died so that mankind can be saved. But this death is not an end. But what is important is that this particular day is always seen in the angle or in the reflection of Easter. So this is, though it is a sorrowful day, Jesus dying for us, but to his death he has given us new life, new creation and newness in our life. That is the beauty of Good Friday. That's the reason we honor this day as Jesus dying for me because he has shown me what life is all about. The difficulties, hardships, pain will all be a part of life. But this is not going to be end. What is going to be the end is the joy that is going to come up. And that is what we are going to celebrate on the Easter day.
Right. Likewise, these are all the parts of the 14 stations, the important stations, like Father was mentioning. And this was those important events that led to the crucifixion of Lord Jesus. With camera person Raju Gaikwad, this is Shama Mishra for DD India, Mumbai.
And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. International Court of Justice orders Israel to take action to ensure basic food supplies arrive in Gaza. Former South African President Jacob Zuma barred from running in general election in May. And two-time Olympic medalist Sindhu will take on Thailand's Kate Thong in the quarterfinals of Madrid Spain Masters.
Passes a draconian national security law. Has democracy died in Hong Kong? Was there a secret weapon behind the mysterious Havana syndrome that shook American diplomacy? And the last decade was the hottest ever. Is our planet on the brink? Watch Connecting the Dots to get the full picture every Friday at 8 p.m. IST on DD India.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. The US government has approved $60 million emergency fund to the state of Maryland to rebuild the collapsed Baltimore bridge. The funding will also be utilized in removing of the heavy debris shattered in the water to reopen Baltimore's shipping channels. Massive barges carrying cranes steamed towards Baltimore on Thursday to begin the challenging work of removing metal and concrete from the river. The bridge came tumbling down early on Tuesday after a massive cargo freighter that had lost power plowed into the structure in Baltimore Harbor. 2 bodies have been recovered and 4 others missing people are presumed dead.
We submitted an initial $60 million request to the Biden-Harris administration for initial mobilization, operations, and debris recovery efforts. And I can report that as of this afternoon, the Biden-Harris administration has approved that request. We are deeply grateful to President Biden, to Secretary Buttigieg, to our federal delegation, and all of our federal partners.
Meanwhile, a probe is underway to determine the cause of the accident. Officials from National Transport Safety Board boarded the cargo ship on Thursday, inspecting damage and downloading ship data. New insights surfaced a day after the incident, saying that the cargo reported losing power and the ability to maneuver before plowing into a support pylon of the bridge. The International Court of Justice has ordered Israel to provide immediate, unhindered delivery of aid to Gaza. Judges at the International Court of Justice on Thursday unanimously ordered Israel to take all the necessary and effective action to ensure basic food supplies arrive without delay to Gazans. In Thursday's order, the court reaffirmed the January measures but addressed Israel must take action to ensure unhindered provision of basic services and humanitarian assistance, including food, water and electricity, as well as medical supplies and medical care to Palestinians throughout Gaza. The judges added that this could be done by increasing the capacity and number of land crossing points and maintaining them open for as long as necessary. US President Joe Biden hosted a record-breaking fundraiser in New York City alongside his predecessors Barack Obama and Bill Clinton. Biden joined Obama and Clinton for a high-dollar fundraiser at Radio City Music Hall in New York that organizers said raised more than $25 million for Biden's US re-election campaign. Biden, Obama and Clinton took part in a discussion at the iconic Radio City Music Hall in front of thousands of guests. Tickets for the fundraiser ranged from $225 to $500,000. Some of the highest dollar guests had their photographs taken with 3 presidents. Senegal's President-elect Bassirou Diomaye Faye and his political partner Ousmane Sonko met outgoing President Macky Sall on Thursday, a rapid ascent for the opposition leaders who just weeks ago were in prison. Opposition candidate Faye won over 54% of votes in Senegal's presidential election, with Sall's hand-picked successor Amadou Ba taking around 35%. South Africa's former President Jacob Zuma has been barred from contesting upcoming general elections scheduled for May. And the country's Electoral Commission has not given a reason for that. Former President Zuma has been campaigning for the recently formed Umkhonto we-Sizwe party in an attempt to restart his career after he was previously in prison for contempt of court in 2021. He is also facing charges of corruption over a multi-billion-dollar arms deal from the 1990s when he was vice president. The 81-year-old served as president from 2009 until 2018 when he had to step down because of corruption allegations. In a tragic incident, a bus crash in South Africa's northern province of Limpopo resulted in 45 deaths and 1 serious injury. The ministry alleged that the driver lost control and collided with barriers on the bridge, causing the bus to go over the bridge and hit the ground where it caught fire. The passengers were pilgrims traveling from Botswana's capital, Gaborone, to an Easter service in the town of Moria. An 8-year-old girl, the only survivor, was taken to hospital with serious injuries. Rescue operations went on late into Thursday evening, with some of those killed reportedly and others trapped inside the debris and scattered on the scene. Russian investigators on Thursday claimed that gunmen who killed more than 140 people at a concert last week had ties to Ukrainian nationalists. US has dismissed allegations as baseless propaganda. Russia has said from the outset that it believes Ukraine was linked to the attack, even though Kyiv has denied it and Islamic State has claimed responsibility. In a statement, Russia's investigative committee said for the first time that it had uncovered proof of a Ukrainian connection. It said there was confirmed data that the attackers had received significant amounts of cash and cryptocurrency from Ukraine. Another suspect involved in the terrorists' financing scheme had been detained, the committee said. White House National Security spokesperson John Kirby described the Russian allegations as nonsense and propaganda and said Islamic State was solely responsible for the attack. The US is asking American companies to stop shipping goods to more than 600 foreign parties over fears the items could be diverted to Russia for the use in Ukraine, a US official said on Thursday. The US Department of Commerce said in letters in recent weeks to at least 20 companies with a warning, the latest effort to block the Russia war effort in Ukraine. The companies make and sell products found in missiles and drones recovered inside Ukraine. And Russia on Thursday vetoed the annual renewal of a panel of experts that oversees the enforcement of long-standing United Nations sanctions against North Korea. The US State Department said it is deeply disappointed by Russia's veto of the renewal of the mandate of the UN Security Council's panel of experts, which sanctions North Korea over its nuclear weapons and ballistic missile programs, spokesperson Matthew Miller said on Thursday.
The United States is deeply disappointed by Russia's veto of the United Nations Security Council's 1718 Committee Panel of Experts mandate renewal. We are also disappointed that the People's Republic of China decided to abstain after 14 years of supporting this important mandate. For the past 15 years, the 1718 Committee Panel of Experts has been the gold standard for providing fact-based, independent analysis and recommendations on the implementation of UN sanctions on the DPRK.
Poland on Thursday said it will join international efforts to help the Olympic Games in France safe by sending troops, including sniffer dog handlers. Poland's defense minister on social media platform X said the Polish armed forces will join the international coalition established by France to support the preparations and security of 2024 Summer Olympics. He wrote, a task force of soldiers, including dog handlers, will be sent to Paris. Its main goal will be to undertake activities related to the detection of explosives and counteracting terrorist phenomena. The announcement was made on the day France's chief of defense staff visited Warsaw. The French government raised the country's terror alert warning to its highest level on Sunday following the shootings in Moscow just a few months before the games kickoff on July 26th. More than 1,500 people have been killed so far this year in Haiti as gang violence continues. The country has extended a state of emergency while trying to deal with the civil unrest and set up a new government. DD India's Latin America correspondent Maritime has more details.
The United Nations has described the situation in Haiti as cataclysmic, with more than 1,500 people killed in the Caribbean country since the beginning of 2024. The UN's High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, said on Thursday that all these practices are outrageous and must stop at once. The most recent UN report says some 4,500 people died last year. Since February this year, Haiti has been facing a political and security crisis as rival gangs battle for control. Criminal organizations have attacked strategic locations such as the international airport and police stations and blocked main roads, preventing the distribution of food and essentials across the capital Port-au-Prince. For now, a state of emergency that began a month ago has been extended until early April, but is likely to continue as the capital continues to be controlled by heavily armed civilians. This comes as the Caribbean nation is working to establish a new government through a transitional presidential council. Even though Haiti's prime minister said in mid-March he would hand over his office when the transitional government takes office, the council is not officially installed yet. In Caracas, Maritime reporting for DD India.
And in sport, men's doubles duo of India's Rohan Bopanna and his Australian teammate Matthew Ebden stormed into the ongoing Miami Open finals on Thursday night. The duo sealed a solid win over Spain's Marcel Granollers and his Argentine partner Horacio Zeballos by 6-1, 6-4. Earlier, the Indo-Aussie pair beat Australia's Sam Verbeek and his Netherlands partner John Patrick Smith in the quarterfinals. Bopanna and Ebden will take on Croatia's Dodig and his American partner Krasik in the finals on Saturday. Two-time Olympic medalist PV Sindhu will take on Thailand's Supanida Kaethong in the quarterfinals of Madrid Spain Masters tournament today. Earlier on Thursday, Sindhu beat Chinese Taipei's Huang Xiushun 21-14, 21-12 in the second round of the tournament. The former world champion, who finished runner-up in the last edition, beat Canada's Wen Yu Zhang in a lopsided contest. With top seed Carolina Marin of Spain pulling out of the tournament, Sindhu is now the favourite to claim the crown and end a long wait. Sindhu won her last BWF Tour title at the 2022 Singapore Open Super 500. That's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.